On this episode, the effort band. Okay, hey everybody, welcome back to The Quarter Show. So we're going to be talking about the effort band. And you know, in sales, you have the sales progress steps, right? You have the sales progress steps, and your sales cycle is probably different than ours to some degree. But basically, you have, let's just map it out for a second. You have essentially the initial interest. You have discovery, maybe proposal, probably proposal review, selling and handling stages, confidence material, things like that, asking stages and things like that, closing, logistics, and you have this sort of thing that you go through, right? You have these stages in your sales cycle. You map out your sales cycle, and it kind of goes through these different stages from beginning to end. And if you're paying attention, then you know, or you're good at this, you've already mapped out your sales cycle. You know that there's a definitive sales cycle there, and you know the exact stages that are all mapped out. We certainly do ourselves. And the thing that happens is we're all guilty of this, but you kind of look at it at the very beginning, you think you have a discovery call. We call it the discovery call. It's at the very beginning, and we're going to do a show on the discovery call itself and just kind of go over that. But you do a discovery call at the very beginning, and that's where you kind of discover about them. You understand, you know, what are their needs, what are their pain points, what do they specifically need help with, and then and what can you bring to the table. I think it's a mistake, by the way, and I want to take this up on the discovery call thing, but don't just pitch. There's a way to do a discovery call. But at the very initial call, it usually goes pretty well. It usually goes very well, and you have a friendly conversation, you know, goes well for you, goes well for them, things like that. And it feels very low effort. It's just kind of like a nice conversation, and everybody's kind of excited, everybody's kind of interested, and then you're going to pitch them something. You know, pitch them the proposal, whatever you're going to send them, make a recommendation or whatever. And what you find is as you go through the sales progress steps, we call it the effort band, the effort increases, right? It dramatically starts to go up. And what salespeople do is they create the same level of effort. They're putting out the same level of effort all the way through the sales cycle, which is a mistake, right? The effort band's increasing, and you're applying the same level of effort all the way through the sales progress steps, all the way through trying to get the deal closed. And what happens is you run into rocky terrain, you run into difficulties toward the end at selling and handling, at asking, at the confidence stage, at asking, at closing logistics and things like that. You run into rocky terrain, you run into problems in that band, in that area, in those stages, mainly because you're applying the wrong effort band. You're applying the same effort band that it took back in discovery, when in reality it's dramatically increased. And so we have this chart here called the effort band, and what you want to do is you want to start increasing your effort through the sales cycle to match where it actually goes in the sales cycle. So when we look at, for example, if you're at selling and handling, or you're at confidence material or asking and closing, there may be more hoops to jump through. You may have to get other people to buy in. You've got to go to let's say maybe a CFO, you've got to go to a COO, you've got to go to other people, get other people rounded up and bought in, and you have to start increasing the level of effort, the level of action and motion and doingness that you're bringing to the table in order to sort of get the deal done. And you can pave the way and make it a lot easier by getting the earlier steps done very, very well, by getting discovery call and these other parts really nailed down and really handled effectively. But through that sales progress steps, through these different stages, that effort is going to dramatically increase, and you have to match it or exceed it in order to see it all the way through and make the end stages as smooth as the early stages to get it all the way through and get it done.
Because look, here's what you're doing with this. Here's what you're doing. It's not that it's easy to be creative, but thought and creativity don't have a whole lot of effort to them. Emotion doesn't even have a whole lot of effort to it. Doesn't have a whole lot of push. So
right.
You're in these early stages, which are very important, and this is not to make light of it in any way, but everybody, you get creative, you give a great pitch, people are thinking with it, the ideas are there.
Yeah.
Now you're moving over into money. You're moving over into, like, money represents physical objects, right? You're moving over into like the real physical world where effort is applied. So if you're asking for an investment that your prospect or their prospect's boss, who can actually make the decision, considers a big investment, you're like pushing a boulder uphill at this point. So you're going from creative thought. Everybody's like, wow, that'd be amazing. They're projecting futures. They're thinking about how they're going to use different things. There's no effort. It's not that it's airy fairy. It's very important, but it's very it's light. And now you're moving into like that $100 bill represents what effort to that client, represents how hard did they have to work to get it.
Yeah.
That's what you're at. You're
go into money.
pulling this, right?
Yeah.
It represents the physical world. So anyway, that's why it seems to go up so quickly. And it's not that money's bad. People don't like to spend money. I mean, in a way they don't, but that's not really the issue.
No.
The issue is it represents hard work.
And real things. You start moving into a solidity of real money, right? You start moving into decisions, and you start moving into money. They need to pay money. They need to make decisions. They need to do infrastructure changes. They need to do different things. And you start moving into this thing, and really the effort kicks in because you start hitting levels of resistance. Right, you hit levels of resistance in the sales cycle on different things, whether it's somebody having indecision, somebody having to make a decision, somebody have to spend money, somebody have to take money, somebody have to transfer money, other people need to get on board. There's different attributes and different pinpoints of resistance, which increases the effort. And if you're applying the same effort that you did at discovery, you're going to be off. It's going to take too long. And you hear it's going to take too long and it's just going to drag it out, or it's not going to happen at all. And you hear people talk about, oh, our sales runway is 6 months. It's like, is it? I don't know. Maybe it's that you make it 6 months. Maybe that you're making it 6 months. Maybe it's not actually 6 months. It's that you're making it 6 months because you don't apply the right effort. You're not doing the right effort band, and you're factually helping make the cycle much longer than it needs to be. The right action could take that 6 months, and they could turn it into 2 months, right? If you play your cards right. Now we're not talking pressure, push.
No.
Yeah, look, you got to push.
Sure.
Don't mistake. You need to push.
Yeah.
But it's not pressure, high pressure tactics. These are just propaganda terms that people use. There's a way to do it tactfully, smartly, to get deals done and get it wrapped up and take the time out. Because if you let it, look, human nature, we're going to procrastinate and take our sweet time doing absolutely everything, and things are going to take much longer than they ever needed to do or take. And I think as very, very good, a real pro in sales controls the room. They control the outcomes. They control the effort. And factually, if your product and your service or whatever you're selling is fantastic for the client and they need it, it's going to help them and it gets the result. Why wouldn't you take the time out? Right? Why wouldn't you crush the time and get it done? Because they need it sooner than later.
See,
time never solves it.
He makes that comment, and you might be sitting there thinking, why wouldn't they purchase sooner?
Sure.
But he goes, why wouldn't you take the time out for your client? Because you know how much it's going to help. It's 100% on you. So it's not up to them to make the effort. It's up to you to bring the intensity, the emotional positivity, the handling of concerns, right? You got people who are they won't change their mind, or they're not sure, they're stuck up against something. It's all up to you. Like, that's what's meant by the effort. How many are you calling? Are you resending the proposal? Are you emailing? Are you texting? Are you calling other people who might be decision makers? Are you cheerleading it along? How much effort are you bringing to the game right here at the end?
Absolutely.
When money's going to change hands.
Absolutely, and if you don't increase that effort, you're not doing them any favors. You're not doing anybody any favors. You're not doing yourself any favors. You're not doing them any favors. You need to look at your effort band, write out you map out your sales process steps. You map out the sales process steps, and then you look at that effort band, and then you look at what you need to apply at what stage in the sales cycle. If you say, well, I'm at selling and handling, great. What's the effort band that reflects selling and handling, and where do I need to do, and what do I need to do in order to meet that effort band? And maybe it's like. Maybe it's like if you list it all out, you're like, well, I got to go to so-and-so, I got to go to so-and-so, I got to send this document, I got to send this PDF, I got to send this white paper and this video and this, all these different things. And you're like, maybe the pile of actions or, tactical actions that you need to take at that specific stage for that specific effort band is much bigger than what you needed to do back here in Discovery. Discovery, it's like, well, I just got to have this phone call with this person, blah, blah, blah. But here you need to do bang, 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 bang in order to get to the next step and take it to the next thing, and then finally wrap it up. And controlling the cycle to wrap it up to get a deal done, it requires a certain amount of effort. And I see it all the time. I see salespeople completely miss the effort band, and then they're stuck at the end and they can't quite figure it out.
I mean, here's what I think's happening. Here's an analogy, right? And this is why these sales cycles, take so long. It's like this. So my dad builds houses, and so you go to the architect, you have an idea, or your client has an idea, and you put this idea together, and everybody's looking at it. Looks great, and this and that and the other thing. Then you get into building a house. And I dug a lot of ditches for my dad. I dug out a lot of foundations.
Yeah.
Like I dug
Yeah.
a lot of dirt out of the earth. And if we get to that point, right, here's what's happening. And here's the analogy to your clients. If you aren't getting it done, is I could have taken a little tiny sand shovel from the beach, and I could have. This is hard work. I mean, it's hard work, Dad. I got the sun. It hurts my back. So I'm going to take this little shovel. It might take a few extra months, but that's how long the process takes to dig out this foundation.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I'm going to end up a wreck. I don't know what. Instead, you take a pickaxe and you take a shovel, and even if there's hard clay, you go to work, and that had better be done today. Like that trench had better be dug today. That's your assignment, right? Because your client, or that person who wants to own the home, is off paying rent in a place that they don't want to live, right? They want their home done so that they have their base of operations. They have what they've been dreaming about and looking for. So it's up to you to apply that effort and to get that ditch dug and to hustle.
Do the work.
Yeah.
You've got to do the work. Yeah. That's the moral story here. You got to do the work, and you got to apply the right level of work for the right stage. Like Ben says, you can take that little tiny shovel and you can take forever.
Oh, you could.
Right? It could take forever, but it's the wrong level of effort that's needed at a specific stage.
Eventually, they don't want that house. They're like, I don't want that house.
It took too long.
Start digging the ditch.
The thing is, you can take so long because you didn't apply the right effort, because you didn't take the right actions. Next thing you know, magically, the deal just flitters away. It's just you missed the deal, and they say, you know what, we're going to go in a different direction. You know what, change the thing. You know what, budget change, because you know what, and I want to go over this in another episode as well. But this whole thing on time, it's working against you, and it's important that you are sort of the architect of your own future and time, and you're controlling those different things. And in order, you can miss it by applying that wrong effort, and you can win it by following the effort scale along with the sales progress steps, and have better prediction, better ability to close the deals. And then it kind of shows you and it dictates the right action, right? If you're thinking, well, I'll just call so-and-so and do this and that, and it's just like, it's not in line with the effort that's required for a specific stage, you're just going to miss. It's just not going to be enough, and the analogies that relate to this are endless. But write down your sales progress steps. Draw a line for an effort band for what you think it ideally actually is, and it dramatically increases, and then map out what steps would you need to take based off that specific effort band all the way through the sales progress steps in order to get the deals done. And you'll find that you'll close a lot more. You'll take the time out. The probability of closing will go up, and the time, the runway to close, will shorten.
Yep.
Okay? That's all for today. Hope you like it. We'll have more coming at you soon. Don't forget to subscribe down there. Hit the red button, subscribe. Go to Twitter and follow us at thequarter show, #thequarter. We love to hear your questions, love to see your comments on YouTube and things like that. And we're going to keep them coming. Okay? Thanks.